Draymond Green and Austin Rivers, a random NBA beef, but it all started with Draymond on his show recently talking about Steve Kerr, and then he commented saying that he might have hindered his offense, which had Austin Rivers bewildered. And now Draymond on his show responded to Austin Rivers saying that he was bewildered by those comments and went off.
Okay. So basically, if for everybody that don't know, Draymond Green came out and said that Steve Kerr, the coaching style of Steve Kerr, hindered Draymond Green's offensive career.
Stop it. Get some help.
My God, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. If you didn't have Steve Kerr, you would have probably been out the league 8 years ago. If you didn't have Steve Kerr and Steph Curry, who was damn near your daddy on the court, if you didn't have them two people, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Steve Kerr unlocked you, bro. Because if you was the offensive player who you trying to make it sound like you was, first, before we even get into the video, if you was the offensive player who you trying to make it sound like you would have been without Steve Kerr, then you would have averaged 22 points, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds when Clay, KD, and Steph wasn't there. It's been a lot of times where these players were injured, and you was the only player. You was the best, quote-unquote, all-around player on the court, and you still averaged 9 points, my nigga. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know where the delusion came in, but like he said, Austin Rivers ended up responding. Draymond Green didn't like his response, so.
On Rivers.
You know, I don't like to get in these back and forths because, quite honestly, the guys that you usually get into the back and forths with, they become back and forths because there's like a weight that's like one of them like severely tips something this way and the other is just like kind of so far down that it kind of pulls you back a little bit. And so, speaking of Austin Rivers, I saw he said he's bewildered and it's ridiculous of what I said. And I just find it interesting that a guy who was the 10th pick in my draft, I was 35, who's on his second act, I'm still on act 1, would say such things. He goes, Draymond, it's never been a scorer. Well, Austin, you and I averaged the same amount of points in high school when you were.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything, bro? What does that have to do with anything? We talk whenever you start talking about high school, come on, bro.
Score. I don't know what would qualify Austin Rivers to speak about scoring when in high school, me and you averaged the same amount of points. And I say high school because that's when you were at your best. That's when Austin Rivers was Austin Rivers in high school. And so that's why I point out the high school scoring because, I want to make it fair. I want to speak about him when he was at his best. And he was at his best at Winter Park, if I remember correctly. He had ESPN games. Like, that's when he was at his best. When he was faster than everybody and can just put his head down and drive right and get to the rim.
Talking about high
and then
school,
in college, he was
fuck?
still good. He was very featured at Duke and, had a very big moment, where he hit the 3 on the wing. Like, you got to give him credit. That's when he was at his best, Well, in college, I averaged almost 17 points a game in the Big Ten. Very limited possessions, So I only want to speak about Austin.
Nigga, first of all, you averaged 16 points. And you played for Michigan State University
at his best. Because NBA careers, should he really talk about my NBA career? I don't know that that's the case. I'm still with my first team. He was gone from his first team in 2 years.
What does that have to do with anything? What the fuck does that have to do with anything, bro? I'm not going to lie. Draymond Green, you were never going to be a scorer in the NBA, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. It's plenty of people that was in college averaging, what the fuck you average, 16 and 10? It's plenty of people that average 20 points in college. Let's talk about the other. Hold on, bro. Let's really go break it all the way down then. Austin Rivers college stats. First of all, Austin Rivers was a freshman averaging 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. So when you come on here and you say you were averaging 16 points, first of all, nigga, that was your senior year. You're supposed to. You're 4 years deep and comparing yourself to a freshman. You're a grown-ass man. Do you know what happens in the ages of 18 or 22? Usually men get their grown man body. That's even skinny niggas. We get our muscles. You know what I'm saying? We're far more athletic. We're at peak athletic ability. And most of the people that you playing on the court is freshmen and sophomores. You're a senior. It's plenty of college seniors that average 20 points. That's the 15th man on the fucking bench right now in the NBA. So maybe you was a cool, decent little scorer in the senior year of your college at Michigan State. You were never going to be a 20-point per game scorer in the league, bro. I don't give a fuck who your coach was.
Just like sometimes you just should
It's just delusion.
Like, not say something. You know, like always isn't a time to, everything isn't something you should speak on. And I don't think that was really one for Austin Rivers to be bewildered about and like say it's ridiculous, because like the guy received the biggest bailout in U.S. history prior to President Trump bailing out the airlines when they needed it. Austin Rivers received the biggest bailout in NBA history, in world history, in U.S. history. Received the biggest bailout in U.S. history when his dad gave him $42 million. And I tip my hat to Doc. I pray that one day, it won't be $42 million then because NBA has gone up so much. But I pray that I can give DJ $200 million or give Deuce $250 million. I pray that I can do that one day. So I tip my hat to Doc and his incredible bailout of his son and putting good money in his pocket, man. Like I really tip my cap.
Do you see how none of this, you see how he's talking about everything else other than the fact that Austin Rivers said you weren't going to be a scorer in the league? You're talking about everything else. What the fuck does his dad bailing him out have to do with? I ain't gonna lie, bro. If I had a team and I needed somebody to score points for me on the NBA team, I'll pick Austin Rivers today before I pick Draymond fucking Green. I'll pick Jaden McDaniels. I'll pick so many players on the bench, nigga. I'll pick so many bench players before I'll pick Max fucking Strus. Do you understand what I'm saying? Telling you right now, I'll pick Luke Kennard, Rui Hachimura. I'll pick so many people. If I needed a scorer on my team, an offensive player on my team to score points, I would pick so many fucking players before I pick Draymond Green. Like, what are you talking? Are you a good defender? Yes, you're a very good defender. Are you a great facilitator? Are you have a high basketball IQ? Are you good at getting Steph the ball? Yes. But you need to sit your ass down somewhere. You thinking too highly of yourself on basketball tip and it's delusion. It's okay, bro. It's all right. I would love to be in the league averaging 8 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? If I would have made the league the way I play basketball, I would have been a Lonzo Ball type of guy. I would have been, I'm going to go get, if I start, I'm getting 12 assists tonight. I might only get 8, 9, 10 points, but I'm getting 12 assists on 1 or 2. You know what I'm saying, though? Like 1 or 2 turnovers. Like, that's the type. And I would have been perfectly happy with that. You made it to the league as a second-round player. You got 4 championships. And you cool, bro. But you was never going to be that offensive guy. I don't know where that, like.
But, if you listen to the whole thing, the whole 3 minutes of what I spoke about, what a competent basketball mind would have heard was, man, this guy who wanted to do this, who thought he was this, changed his game and then still became this because that's what worked best for the team. Never shared those gripes. Because
no, nigga, that's what worked best for you. That's what worked best for you, bro. You were one of those players who, if you didn't change your game, if you didn't alter your game and alter how you played for the team, your ass would be out the league. What the fuck?
Because they didn't matter. And by the way,
and I ain't gonna lie, if you didn't have Steph Curry, you'd be out the league. To be honest with you.
Matter. Because guess what? I don't care. I'm totally fine. My career's been great. So I found it interesting for people who need things to speak on to make it out as if I'm sitting here complaining about my career has been so bad. No, my career has been great, possibly Hall of Fame worthy. And
So why
I
did you
love
say
how
that
people
then?
just go take the 15 seconds that they want to take and make it a headline. But I really enjoyed watching Austin Rivers be bewildered by a statement of a guy who was drafted after him, still doing it after he's done, long after he's done, at a higher level right now today than he ever did it. Right now today, more impactful, bar none. Now, had Austin Rivers taken a page out of my book and said, man, these people really don't need me to score, let me go do something else, probably doesn't need the bailout, because then you go defend, you go be the better backup point guard than what he ultimately was. Like you carve out a nice niche for yourself. So what I can teach you about is carving out a niche for yourself, since you're bewildered about my comments. I could have taught him to carve out a niche, as I did. So what you should go show kids is, man, here's a guy who was the National Player of the Year in college, was a Big Ten Player of the Year, that got to the league actually because he could score in all these different ways. He could shoot the three, he could get you off the dribble, he could take you to the block.
If you got to the league because you could score so many ways, then how come when you got to the league, they didn't want you to score? You could score that many ways as a senior in college. That shit wasn't transferring to the NBA, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. As an offensive player, when it comes to scoring, you suck. Okay? You can't shoot. You're undersized big. You can't really post up. You don't have no bag at all when it comes to dribbling and moving. You can't get your own shot. Who the fuck can you post up in the NBA? You can't post up nobody. You can't even post up Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, nigga. You can't post up. You're not fast. You don't jump high. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't have no mid-range. You can't do a fadeaway to save your life. Your post hook is below average. My nigga. Like, you should sit your ass down somewhere, my guy. You should really sit your ass down somewhere. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. If you didn't have Steph Curry and you didn't have Klay Thompson and KD, if you didn't have all these people, bro, you would have been out the league a minute ago.
To the block. That's how he got to the league. And shown at times that he could score in the league, but that just wasn't the path. But when you get guys like Austin Rivers, who, again, received the biggest bailout in U.S. history, to say something like that.
What is him getting bailed? Let's say he did get bailed out by his dad. What does that have to do with him saying that he doesn't think that you were ever going to be a good offensive player? That doesn't make him any less credible because he got bailed out, quote unquote, by his dad. I mean, Bronny James could come out and say that you're not that good of an offensive player, and he wouldn't be false. And just because he's only in the league because of his dad doesn't take away any of that credibility or any fact that he's saying. It doesn't mean that what he's saying is not a fact because he got a bailout.
And then Austin Rivers responded on Instagram, tagging Draymond saying, relax fam, I never was sour towards you, actually highly complimentary, but here we are. I can't stand by and just let you belittle me and disrespect me and my father for no damn reason. Who you think you are?
I don't know.
I think you hang around your big bro. We all know who I am talking about. That's LeBron. And you maybe start to think you, him, you're not, lol. You're just a fan and a friend. Fall back, respectfully. I'm not an NBA Hall of Fame guy, and I don't have your NBA resume, but you need a reality check for real. Like, come on, Dre, really? And then posted this video.
Come on, Draymond. This is ridiculous. Seriously. Ridiculous. But you know what? I'm going to address it because you crossed the line and you are mad disrespectful for whatever.
Yeah, he crossed the line, bro. You bringing up his dad. Once you start, that's how you know a nigga is his feelings is hurt. When you start bringing up NBA career and you got bailed out and you trying to start attacking him from all these other angles, it's like if me and you was arguing about, who plays Madden better, and then you start saying, well, I got more money than you. Maybe you do have more money than me, but what the fuck does that have to do with me playing Madden? You see what I'm saying? Like,
reason you've been around too long. We both were drafted in the same class. the fact that you don't have the wherewithal to do your due diligence and actually understand, I was being highly complimentary of you on the Dan Patrick Show.
Yeah.
But it's you, and I shouldn't be surprised. You always act irrationally, emotionally immature, and
sure.
Your anger always puts you in hot water. So here I am having to address a video of you belittling my career. First off, Draymond, we weren't the same players in high school. I don't care about our numbers being similar. I did it at the national level, the top level. Hence why I got the Naismith Award, and I got pretty much every award you can think of in high school.
Right.
I was ranked number 1. You were ranked, I don't know. So cut it out. Next. College.
That's what I'm saying. That nigga, you play some high school, some nowhere, middle of nowhere fucking high. You didn't go to, like, man, what let's see what high school Draymond went to. What high school did Draymond Green go to? He went to Saginaw, Michigan. So some random ass school in Saginaw, Michigan. You trying to compare what he did at, was it where did Austin Reeves play? IMG or Oak Hill? Oh, he played at Cedar Ridge.
You actually a really good college basketball player, but it's hard to compare because I was only there for 6 months.
And as a senior, Austin Reeves averaged 32 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. So what the fuck are we even talking? Winning back-to-back championships in his first 2 years, and another one in his senior year. Oh, this is Austin Reeves. I said, this ain't Austin Reeves, this is Austin Rivers. My dumb ass. Let's see, Austin Reeves. Okay, Austin Rivers went to Winter Park High School, and he averaged 29, 6, and 2 during his senior year. So
something you could never do. Talk about I was, one of the featured guys. No, I was the guy. I led my team in scoring. I was first team All ACC, freshman player of the year, lottery pick. Stop.
Right. Stop.
Next.
Calm
NBA.
down, nigga.
Hey, man, you got it, Dre. I mean, listen, I played in the NBA for more than 10 years, more than a decade, but 11 years, but I'm not a Hall of Famer like you. So I'll give you that credit. All right? You got it. But let's peel back that onion and understand why. Easy, Tiger.
Exactly.
Okay? You have the delusion, the non-wherewithal, the irony of you saying I'm part of the biggest bailout in NBA history. Draymond, you are the luckiest basketball player I think I've ever seen, especially in modern day history.
Literally.
Let's talk about that. You were drafted to a franchise with the Hall of Fame front office, Bob Myers, Hall of Fame coach Steve Kerr, the greatest shooter of all time, and perhaps the top 5 player of all time, Steph Curry, Hall of Famer. One of the greatest shooters, top 5 shooter of all time, another Hall of Famer, Klay Thompson. The Swiss Army knife himself, the guy who could do a little bit of everything on the floor, Andre Iguodala, another Hall of Famer. I know, keep up, it's a lot of talent. Not to mention one of the most lethal scorers of all time and arguably a top 10 player of all time, Kevin Durant, the same guy you chased off because of this, your mouth. You talk too much. And that's not even counting the plethora of talent around those guys. The Sean Livingstons, the Barbosas, the Andrew Wiggins, the Jordan Pooles, who you also chased off.
Right.
Cut it out. Draymond, you're the backpack jump shooter. You're the guy that everyone leaves open. No one guards you. There are...
Exactly, bro. And the fact that nobody guards you, especially in... Okay, so let's look at those years, okay? So they won the title in 2015, which was Draymond Green's second year in the league. It seems like is when they won their first title. And then in 2016, they lost, and that was his career high at 14 points. So in 2016, when they won 73 games, when they were not guarding you, you was getting all the easiest baskets in the world. Nobody guards you. You played 35 minutes, and you could only give us 14.0 points a game on 49% shooting and 40% from 3. You only got that because nobody was guarding you. It's a different animal when people are guarding you. When you are in the scouting report and they are gaming up game plans coming up with different schemes and game plans to stop you from scoring. You were the guy that they said, let that bum ass nigga score. We need to stop the greatest shooter and the other greatest shooter. And you won 4 rings. Congratulations, bro. But I'm really getting tired of you bus riders beating your chest about some rings that you got. Like, you beat your chest more than Bron, more than SGA, more than KD and Steph. I hear you talk more shit about other people than Steph Curry. And would nobody be able to say nothing if Steph was saying it? Bro, you got lucky. God blessed you with the best situation in the world, and you trying to disrespect other people's careers because they didn't get as lucky as you. If you put Austin Reeves, if the Golden State Warriors draft Austin Rivers, I keep saying Reeves. If the Golden State Warriors draft Austin Rivers to come off the bench for Steph Curry, and he goes to get 4 rings, I mean, that's not impressive, bro. Like, shit, I could have been on the fucking team. Nick Young got some rings. He played 4 minutes in the finals.
Hours and hours and hours of film of just you being left wide open. In fact, anybody can just YouTube or Google or watch any Draymond game ever, and he's open all game.
Exactly.
There are clips of you getting a rebound and just driving in a straight line and just getting a wide open layup because everyone's fanning out to guard the actual talent on the team.
Facts.
Talking about Steve Kerr hindered your career. Bro, Steve Kerr made your career. How dare you?
Exactly.
Coming at me? Are you kidding me? I wish I could give my son $200 million if I was a coach. Yo, the NBA doesn't give coaching jobs to guys who may or may not sucker punch one of the players and staff.
That too, but what the fuck does that have to do with me saying that you couldn't score in the NBA? What is my dad giving me $42 million or whatever the fuck the case is? What does that have to do with the fact that I said you're not a good scorer? Nobody has ever looked at you like a good scorer, bro. And I promise you, if Steve Kerr does not have you on the team, if Steve Kerr does not identify that he could use you as a facilitator and a defender, if Steve Kerr doesn't put you in that situation, nigga, you would have been out the league in 2 or 3 years, bro. I'm going to be honest with you, gang. Or you would have been a fucking bench player that played 4 minutes a game. Your skill set don't even fit the NBA, bro. Like, why you think they can't trade you? Because don't nobody really fucking want you like that. Because if you don't have Steph Curry to get a ball to, you don't get all these assists that you got your career high in assists is 8.9. I guarantee you 6, 7 of them motherfuckers was to Steph Curry. You giving the ball to Steph, setting the pick, he hitting the miracle shots, and you get credit with the assist. Congratulations, bro. But if you think you're going to go to another team and play the point forward and get 9, 10, 12 assists, passing to Darius Garland, you got another fucking thing coming, bro. Like, you're not no talent, bro. It's okay, bro. It's all right. Who cares? Bro, like, talking about Drake to Steve Kerr hindered your career, nigga. That shit was disrespectful as fuck for you to ever say out of your mouth. And if I was Steve Kerr, I would have called you and asked if you was drunk, my nigga. I would have asked if you was drunk. Draymond Green career earnings. You've been paid $256 million in your career as a 13-year vet? It's been 13 years. You got drafted in 2012, so it's been about 14 years. This is probably your 13th or 14th season. You made $200 million. You got 4 championship rings. Because of the team that you were a part of, you're probably a Hall of Famer. But you're not an offensive player at all, bro. You're not. You're not. Neither is Dennis Rodman. Nobody was scared of Dennis Rodman coming down the court and giving them no fucking points, but he still helped multiple teams win championships. Ben Wallace, Bill Laimbeer, Joe Dumars, even though Joe Dumars was pretty good offensively too, but like, bro, like,